I've been working with this feminine healing with myself for a long time. At some point, I could even drink my own menstrual blood and understand that there is a high in it. It is almost like going into a kind of self-love to just accept yourself. Accept your fluids also. And so it has been a long journey of a lot of sexual trauma healing with some projects that I did with Me Too Bro. I made Rakhis called Me Too Bro to raise awareness on sexual abuse inside the family. Probably 2 years, Goa starts to feel like home, and then it starts to keep giving you, but it also it's very karmic, this place, and somehow it weaves you into working for her also. And through my poetry, I've only been working with women's issues, with social issues, and at some point I was leaving Goa because I think my journey in Goa was done, and someone just appeared from nowhere and offered me their Comunidad land, which is basically a forest. I mean, you can only have plantations there. And she felt enough trust in me to kind of give it for caretaking.
Why did she want you to live in the forest and not her?
Because I want to live in the forest. That was already a dream that I put forth. And she kind of responded to that. And she said, but I have one. And maybe you can take care of it.
How do you take care of a forest?
By doing nothing.
Yeah.
By just being there and making sure that, there's no more construction and cutting. I mean, to make one forest, if I have to start now, it will at least take me 25 to 30 years. So why not just safe keep something that's already there?
Yeah.
And
what about these mangraves that you call, and you wrote this whole text about value and devalue and objectification and object and all kinds of things yesterday in that film. And this whole thing, you talked about these rituals that you do, the spells. What are those things?
Somehow this aspect of capitalism where we are objectifying everything, including experiences, like that I look at something and I want to click it. That feeling itself is drowning in that. So that's why I felt to move to the forest where I can engage, I can work with the soil, I can play with the soil, I can make a fire. And I think for me that subjective experience kind of breaks the devaluing. So similarly, living in Goa and seeing, getting the love of so much nature, and then every day you see the thrashing, you see the banyans getting cut slowly over time so that nobody notices it. And I think it's heartbreaking it's no more, it is personal.
And so your the stuff that you wrote for the film also, it had a lot to do with this whole thing about I think there was death in the air, and
yes.
So it addresses climate change in a way, it addresses a lot of stuff. So how does that relate to your experience of being here?
I think right now, wherever you are in the world, you're experiencing this. And it is not a unique experience in that way. It's just that, am I in denial? Am I feeling too much sorrow? Am I trying to be too busy in other things? Am I just buying things? Am I just amazed by fame? And where is your attention at?
Yeah.
So I think my attention is at what I'm feeling. I'm feeling great anguish and sorrow, and luckily I have a medium to express it. So,
and that's poetry.
Yeah, and that's poetry. That's also filmmaking.
Yeah.
And I love to mix these two because it becomes a powerhouse in that way. And Miriam asked me to write a poem on the mangroves, but for me the core issue is so big that then the idea of what are we really valuing? Do we understand value itself?
Yeah.
And in that it covers everything. So for me it was just a response as a statement to go in the deeper programming, rather than the effect of it. The cause is much deeper,
Yeah.
and capitalism has fucked us in that way because we have become objects.
Yeah,
And we are
actually.
objectifying ourselves all the time.
All the time.
And
yeah.
we are being paid for it. So there is no running away from it. no?
Not at all.
So till you don't kind of discard wanting fame and money, I don't think there's an escape. Encroachment of the feminine, encroachment on Mother Earth, the home buried under the chores, all wounds buried under our wombs. Impotent masculinity has allegedly trespassed every gate of fertility. He has trespassed on her every age, every bone, every sense. He has trespassed humanity. Her space caged in his toxic brokenness. Eventually, she too has been converted into a guardian of patriarchy, a gatekeeper of her own death chamber. Yea, woman, rejoice, for the encroachment on the wild is only ephemeral. Our eternal is beyond their pause. Our ruins harder than their collective erections. Resurrection. We can build back on our own ruined land. We can live back on our own bloody breath. We can chew all the demons up and sue cosmic love in the laps of all creation. Together we can temple without any goddamn God. Oh, patriarch flesh, it's time you rejoice too. For thanks to you, the secret of human extinction will be eternally buried under the debris of female claustrophobia.
Oh.